Let me get to the right screen. And that video. Go there. There we go. All right. So on your back. Oh. George, off to the side for a moment. Excuse me. Take a nice deep exhale. Let yourself relax. And then begin to become aware of that breath. So feeling your inhale, get your back bottom rib cage to open up. Try to keep the front relatively flat. And then as you exhale, feel it all drawing in. Again, you're cinching and expanding all the way around. It's actually a 360-degree breath, even though we're focusing on the back. But that's where most of us tend to be stiff. And then on the next exhale, feeling those ribs start to drop down, and then feel that pubic bone to navel drawing up and in, getting that little transverse to check in. Again, you're trying to get this whole thing, one set comes down, one set goes up. So you're starting to feel that wrap of the abdominals and that cinching of that waist. Keeping the pelvis neutral right now. Allowing the rib cage to expand and contract. And then with the next exhale, give me that gentle imprint, the gentle lengthening of the back. You're rolling your pelvis toward the ribs. And then inhale, let it go. Exhale, drop, zip, engage, roll the pelvis toward the ribs. Inhale, let it go. So we got a couple more of these. So just really paying attention. Again, the lengthening of the low back is relatively small. You got one more. And then arms come up to the ceiling. So take an inhale, feel the rib cage expand, notice the shoulder blades pull out just a little bit. And as you exhale, the shoulder blades slowly drop down. Inhale, slowly shoulder blades up a little bit, adding to that motion that the breath does. And again, how small can you make this motion? And feel it. So we're working on really isolating the muscles, feel the shoulder blades do the work. You may feel a little bit at the front of the shoulder as you reach up, and then feel it in between the shoulder blades as you go back. Last one here. And then a few arm circles. So inhale, the arms go overhead, circle the arms round by your hips. And then inhale, up and overhead. Exhale around. So again, allowing those ribs to lift just a little bit, but keep those abdominals controlled. Last one here. And when your hands get to your hips, we're reversing direction. So your inhale, the arms go up, and then exhale, pull down. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, they pull down. One more time. All right, and you're going to need George underneath your right foot. And again, if you don't have George, your foot is just on the ground, making sure that heel stays in contact. So start off with just a few heel slides. So slowly out on inhale, in on exhale. Out on inhale, in on exhale. So think about core stability, so left obliques that are really kicked in, and trying to go straight up and down that line. And then adding that hip rotation. So inhale, the knee drops out a little bit, slide that leg out straight, knee center, and pull back in. We got two more this direction. So just warming up that hip socket. Last one. So you should still be going in and out on that same line with the foot. We've just added angle to the leg. And now you're reversing it. So the knee goes in first, and then it comes out. All right, control. So again, if you find you're going to reposition your foot on the ball, stay centered. We've got an imbalance going on somewhere. So again, maybe make that range of motion a little smaller. Last one. Whoops. Talk about an imbalance. That was me. Woo. All right, and then switching over to the other side. So now those right obliques are really kicking in. You're staying in neutral. When you're ready, you inhale, slide that leg out. Exhale, slowly bring yourself back up. Inhale, slide that leg out. Check in with those right obliques and pull back up. We got one more. And then that right leg goes out to the side and slowly release. Back up. Again, notice your line that you're pressing that heel on. It should be the same one you were just doing when the leg was going just in and out without the rotation. Last one this way. And then the other direction, so the knee drops in first, and then the knee rotates out and back up. Knee drops in first, out. One more time. And then release. And then both feet on the ball or both feet together. Start out with those knees zipped, so you have that inner thigh connection going on. Put the cat on your lap, and then slowly you're going to slide the legs out straight, and then slowly pull back in. Again, think about body rock. Keep yourself as still as you can. Core connection, pull back in. One more time like this, and then we're going to add some upper body work in, because I can't disturb the cat. That would be wrong. All right, so fingertips go underneath your head. Inhale, lengthen through the back of the neck. As you exhale, engage that core, curl up, let the neck do the work. Inhale, slide the legs out straight. Exhale, slowly pull back in, and then slowly release down. Inhale, head nod. Exhale, curl. Inhale, those legs go out. They pull in and release. We got 3 more like this. So see if you can lift a little bit higher with each lift. And again, thinking about that connection, feel the pull up from the pubic bone to the navel. Inhale out. Exhale in. And again, minimize any body shifting. Last one here. And then release down. Belly out is not square on the table. All right, so from here, both feet on the ball. All right, check in, arms to your sides. So from here, again, if you don't have the ball, just doing it without the ball. Exhale, slowly roll yourself up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly roll yourself down. Keep those knees pressed together. Again, exhale, slowly articulate that spine. Imprint, then engage the glutes. Slowly lift up, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then slowly back down. So hopefully your hamstrings are starting to talk to you. Yes, this becomes hamstrings because you're trying to keep those heels in. One more time. This time we're going to go up and we're going to stay. So again, check in with the core. So even if your feet are on the ground, pull in with those heels a little bit. You may not actually move like we do on the ball, but it's similar. And then push out a little bit. Pull in a little bit. Push out a little bit. So keep that core nice and stable, and you're just rocking the ball in and out. Working those hamstrings across the knee joint. Glutes should be engaged and fired. One more time, and then slowly release down. Knees into your chest. And then go ahead and press your heels toward the ceiling. Get a little hamstring stretch in there. And then release. All right, rolling over onto your side, George between the knees, if you have George. Bottom rib lifted. So we have 3 twists on this side. Long spine. Think about looking forward so that spine is straight. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze in on George. Let the hips shift a little bit. Turn the low back. Turn the rib cage. Stay there for inhale. Exhale, pull yourself all the way back around. Inhale, float the arm. Exhale, shift and twist. Inhale, and then exhale, come back around. One more time. All right, so now we're going into the hip shifting. So bottom rib stays lifted, squeezing in, either together or on the ball. you're gonna keep the rib cage still, slowly shift that top knee forward, and then pull that top hip back. Keep a little bit of that imprint in your low back here. So again, it's all controlled through the abdominals. The obliques are really working to keep that bottom rib lifting. Again, maybe more of an unweighting on the floor than anything, and that's fine. And now you're getting that low back to mobilize. You're actually using the deep hip muscles to do this if you got George, and you're squeezing it. So think about what you feel at the hip here. One more. And then you're going to keep that shift forward, keep that bottom rib up, and you're going to Betty boot. So rotate that top heel toward the ceiling, slowly back down. This does not count as side leg series. We're just warming up some hips still. I know you were excited that we're going to get it out of the way to begin with. Again, keep that hip shift, keep that little bit of a round, keep that top knee reaching forward. Relax your foot. We got two more. And then up and hold. So take an inhale here, get the ribs to open up, exhale, dip and engage, and then try to lift that heel a little bit higher. Hold it there on inhale. Again, movement happens from that hip. Exhale, try to go a little higher. Inhale, try to keep the knees stacked. Exhale, go a little higher. One more time. Inhale, exhale, a little bit higher, and then release down. All right, I'm going to flip around. You can flip over, whatever works for you. Although now I have a cat behind me. I have to be careful about squishing cats. So get your setup. Core is engaged. We've got a purring sky today. It's on my hair now. Tweet, tail in the face. All right, so bottom rib is lifted. Knees and hips at 90. Heels are at the front edge of your mat. Top arm forward. As you inhale, that top arm goes up to the ceiling. As you exhale, shift the hips, round your low back, and slowly twist the ribs. Inhale, slowly reach back, open up the shoulder, and then exhale, pull yourself all the way backward. Inhale, up, exhale, shift, rotate, and enjoy the stretch on inhale. Exhale, bring it back around. One more time. I hope you have a cat loving on your hair at the same time as I do. It's quite the experience to be actually cleaned by a cat. All right, and then arm down. All right, so lower body, so bottom rib stays lifted. Your ribs are going to stay still. Squeeze into the ball or knees into each other. Reach that top knee forward, and then pull that top hip back. Reach it forward, and then pull it back. Reach it forward, pull it back. So checking in here. Ribs are staying still. There might be a slight response to it, but for the most part, minimal movement. Couple more. Again, feel that low back starting to mobilize, starting to open up. Get those muscles to engage. And again, you're doing the work here from the deep hip. All right, so this time you're going to keep that hip back. Hold on to George. You're going to clamshell up and then slowly down. So this one today, we're dealing a little bit with the fascial lines and gravity and how they pull on the torso. So your hip is shifted back and you're clamshelling up. So we're asymmetrical here to help deal with those fascial restrictions and the weight of the heart and the way it pulls on the whole body system. Couple more. And then up and hold. And again, think about pelvis is stacked. You're perpendicular here or across the back. Now as you exhale, try to open up a little bit more. Exhale, try to open up a little bit more. One more. And then slowly release yourself down. Check in for a moment. And then roll it over onto your abs. George underneath the breastbone if you have. George, hair can go up if you need to. Give Sky something to play with here, maybe Okay, so you're finding that place on your breastbone where it's comfortable, more comfortable, because this may not be comfortable. So again, think about the length of the spine, feeling that inhale, you're pressing down into George, exhale, relaxing over. Again, if you're doing it without the ball, you're focusing on feeling that rib cage. Feel it move. Notice how the back of the ribs move differently now in this position than in the previous. You're messing up my hairstyle. And then begin to allow the inhale, lift and lengthen the spine gently. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lengthen the spine gently. Low back stays long. Keep that core wrapped. Legs stay solid on the ground. Inhale, push George forward. Try to get a little height on there. Exhale and release down. Inhale, shoulder blades start to come back and in more. Engage the glutes gently. Exhale, release down. So feeling that whole connection through the core. This time up and hold. So find that core, stabilize, lift the arms. All right, so slowly you're going to take the fingertips down, and on exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the arms. Neck stays relaxed, bob ahead if you need to. Again, shoulder blades draw in. Feel the lower 2/3 of the shoulder blade engaging along that inner edge. You may not have the range of motion to me, advantage of the platform. Whoops, I teased the cat. Last one here. All right, now bend your elbows going into W. So you're slowly reaching forward and then pulling back. How high do you go overhead? How high can you keep out of the neck? You got 2 more. And then slowly release. I'm getting growled at here. All right, take the ball out, put it between your heels. And again, if you don't have the ball, you're just going to, oh, it was my hairband you wanted. Put the heels together, knees go mat width apart. Long spine, core is engaged. Again, feel that draw up and in. So now you're working that front lower triangle as well as the back lower triangle. As you exhale, engage everything, gentle press together on the heels, slowly lift up. And then you got 2 more presses. Lift up, inhale, slowly release down. Exhale, core, zip, lift up. 2 more little presses. Press up, and then slowly release down. Core zip. 3, 2, 1. No discomfort in the low back. Exhale, core, lift. 3, 2, 1. And release. You got 2 more sets. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Last time here. 3, 2, 1. And release. George comes out. We're going to disappoint sky and sit back into shell. So again, actively engaging those abdominals. Round your low back. Check in. See what's going on. Equal curvature through the whole spine. Feel free to rock your hips side to side if you'd like. Again, I'm not saying go all the way back yet. That needs to get so much better, but this is the one thing it doesn't want me to do. So I'm not going to push it. All right. Ball goes behind you into that low back, a little bit above your pelvis, and then go ahead and lean back. So find out where you are comfortable. If you don't have the ball, you're just going to do the lean back and you're going to stay engaged. You can use the magic buttons behind those knees and hold on. And again, I want you to really think about that draw up and in. So you should feel like your tailbone's tucked under and you're sitting on the tailbone itself here. All right, so from here, shoulder blades are down, open the chest. Inhale, extend the upper back, keep your chin pointed forward, and
And then exhale, slide your ribs to the hips. So inhale, you're lengthening your rib to hip, and then exhale, you're shortening it. So we're working that C to J curve, and then back. So you're a little bit more supported here through that low back, so you can really work that extension with control. So feel the ribs pulling down as you do this. So feel those abdominals work. And again, really go back into feeling. Draw up and in, pubic bone to navel. Get that zip. Get this lower triangle here really, really engaged. Uh-oh, Sky's coming back. Come here, Sky. Oh, she's done. Whew. All right, last one. And then roll down a little farther. So the ball's now more at the base of the rib cage. If you don't have the ball, you're gonna roll back down so you're like in ab prep position. All right, so from here, a little bit easier. Inhale, open up, still doing that J curve, just to straight. Exhale, slowly curl up. So now you gotta focus on keeping that pelvis still. Inhale, slowly open up. Exhale. Okay, and again, if you don't have George, you are here focusing on the control on the way down. Don't go all the way, and then back up. Control on the way down. Feel that lower triangle. So our emphasis here is on that elongation. Okay, so elongate, and then up fast. Elongate. So again, notice the pelvis. You might feel George moving a little bit, and that's fine. Last one. And hold. So really check in. Lower triangle. Feel this draw in, feel this drop down. All right, so from here, bobble head a little bit. Notice where you need to put your head to stay out of the neck. It might be, it needs to be curled up a little bit more, and that's fine, as long as you're keeping this part still. So you can C curve, or you can J curve more. All right, so from here, arms to the ceiling. So challenging this position now. So you really got to check in, get that zip. Slowly, arms go overhead, torso stayed still, circle around. Arms go overhead, circle around. Arms overhead. And again, if you're on the ground, same thing like an ab prep. We're just challenging your range of motion. So as you go back, you need to hold your head, you're welcome to. You can do one arm, it's still challenging. You're getting a little bit more oblique work in. Feel that connection. One more here. And then slowly go ahead and curl yourself up and up. Check in for a moment. See how you feel. Twist it out a little bit, a little stretch. And then ball goes between your knees and all the way back on your spine. All right, legs toward the ceiling, tabletop. And again, squeezing in on the ball, zip the core. Really feel your lower triangle drawn in, your ribs are down. So from here, we're going to do foot tap, but we're going to do both feet. The trick is you got to keep that tight squeeze on the ball, and how far can you go without losing this? So for me, this is my range of motion today. So hands can go behind the head if you need to. That helps a little bit. The elbows can be up to keep everything relaxed. Exhale, core zips. And again, it's all about the connection here. If you feel like you're going down, that low back is popping, or your abdominals are starting to mound up, that is your stopping point. So everybody's different. So make sure the movement happens at your hip. I see some knee movement. So knee angle stays the same. Movement happens from the hip. Movement happens from the hip. So this should be a very small motion. So again, get those knees around 90 degrees, maybe a little bit more, and really think, move from the hip. So draw up and in. Last one. All right, so now reversing it. So exhale, ribs to hips. Start to lift the tailbone up and release. Exhale, core zips. Keep your hip angle the same. Move the spine. Exhale, core zips. Move the spine. So this angle now stays constant. It was the one moving last time. Try to keep that upper body relaxed. So if you have a couch, you can push your fingers under a little bit. You can get a little bit more range. But however high you go up, you should be able to pause and then slow on the way down. So again, this is about control. So it's not about how I can lift things. It's about how high you can lift things and stay in control. It's about this connection through those abs. You should be starting to feel your abs right now. We've just done a lot in this series. All right, last one. And then slowly, knees to chest. Rock that low back around. Get out of those hip flexors for a moment. Zoe's now back. And then please come to sitting. We're going to do a little twist. We're going to do a little saw. So comfortable sitting, you can do crisscross applesauce. You can do the Zoe appreciation stance, your choice. If you have George can go on the breastbone. Shoulder blades are backing in. You can also just hold on to opposing wrists. All right, tall spine. Again, feel the pelvic floor lift. Feel that draw up and in. Front and back triangles are engaged. And as you exhale, you're slowly rotating towards Zoe. Let your brush your elbow. Inhale, exhale, rotate away from Zoe. Inhale, exhale, zip and engage. Inhale, exhale, zip and engage. So feel that corset wrap. And again, this can be a relatively small range of motion. Try to keep the nose in front of the breastbone, George in front of the breastbone, the wrists in front of the breastbone. And again, turn the ribs. Last set here. We start going towards Zoe, finish going away, and then release. Right, Zoe? Right, Zoe? Yes, they're doing so well. Yes, they are. All right, so legs will go out, platform or mat width apart. George can go at knee level to start. Arms out to side. So feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to so that spine is straight, or it's over, the shoulders are stacked over those hips. All right, Zoe might dictate which way I go here first. All right, so inhale tall and begin to rotate your right shoulder towards your left. As you exhale, fingertips on George, slowly reach forward and you're going toward that left foot. Inhale back up. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach. Inhale back up. Exhale, untwist. Inhale, catch the ball. Exhale. Roll down, inhale, roll up, exhale, center. This is the day of the cat assistance. So again, think about what you're feeling when you come back to center. Do you feel like you're still upright, or are you leaning back and therefore getting into those hip flexors? Again, bend the knees. It's all about what you can do to get that spine back to that neutral. So this arm that's going back, it may do a little bit of a twist down, so the thumb goes down. Just kind of let it do it naturally. It's going to do it as you go into these motions. Last time here. And then slowly back to center. And then go ahead and flip over onto your abs again. I got to work around a cat. Ugh. Okay. Forgot to put my hair up again. That's fine. George, stay. All right. So coming into swan dive. So we're going to play a little bit with different variations. So arms start, hold in. So that goal pose position, breaststroke prep 1. Knees and toes are turned out. Core is engaged. So inhale, slowly push the breastbone forward. Pull back with the arms. Go up to the bottom of your rib cage. And then as you exhale, slowly release it. Long through that low back. Inhale, shoulder blades come up to the bottom of your ribs. Where is your head? We got 2 more. Last one. All right, so here, stay up. Lock that in position. Think about your glutes engaging and slowly lift yourself up as high as you're comfortable onto that pubic bone. Legs stay turned out and then slowly release yourself down. No discomfort in the low back. So you decide how high you go. It's not how high I go. Bottom of the ribs, engage through the glutes, really engage that core. Press the breastbone forward and then slowly release down. All right, so you can choose to stay here. If you think you've got it and you've got a good gauge on your spine, you can slowly rock. So again, this is where those glutes really have to kick in. Slow rock. and release. So legs up, torso up. So a few more here. Take your time. So if you feel this in your low back, go back to what we were doing. Or don't worry about lifting quite as high. Really check in with the core. And those glutes, they should be engaged. You should know where your glutes are by now. And so just a couple more here. What I see looks good. And then go ahead and release and back into child's pose. After we engage the abdominals, surround your low back. Again, just let yourself release that spine. Make sure that low back is feeling good. Because it's now time for all fours work. So grab your George. George between the knees. Hands under the shoulders. Knees under the hips. Think long spine. Elbows point back. They're always going to point back. Fingers can go sideways. Toes are tucked. Zip and engage. Remember, this is all about the abs. If you're feeling it in the wrist, refocus and really feel that lower triangle engaging. From here, exhale, slowly lift the knees, squeezing into George. Stay inhale, stay exhale, stay inhale, and then exhale, release. So again, the smaller the lift, the better. We've got one more time like that, and then we're going to add a little bit of fun. So elbows back, core engages, long spine, shoulders set. Exhale, squeeze in, lift up. Again, that squeeze in helps you fire that transverse, gets that floor, pelvic floor engaging more, and core therefore engages. And release. All right, child's pose, shell for just a moment if you need to. All right, so now we're adding that little bit of movement. So same thing, you can go from the tops of the feet if you need to. Squeeze in, exhale, elbows back, lift. Now you're going to slowly push the torso forward, pull the torso back. So the knees should be staying in place or shifting where your weight is. One more, and then back, and then slowly release down. Child's pose, shell. Circle the wrists out if you need to. We're going to do one more set like that. So come on up. Tuck your toes, core engages, zip, squeeze, lift. Where are those elbows? All right, push your shift force, your weight forward, push back, forward, back. Again, if you need to drop your knees, you are welcome to. Keep everything stable, and then release down. And again, shell. Check in, see how you feel. All right, rotator cuff. So down to your elbow. Elbow can be on the ground, or you can do elbow on George. All right, so core is engaged. Knees can be a little bit wider than your hips. Again, make sure the elbow's under that shoulder. Knees are under the hips. Right hand comes across if the left hand's on the ball. So focus on that stability through that left shoulder blade first. Again, elbow is pointing back. You might even think, trying to talk and do this at the same time. It's challenging today. You're thinking about pulling that elbow back without actually moving it. So you're engaging the lat, and that helps stabilize. There we go. All right, so push out a little bit with both knees. So your movement there comes from the hip. And then as you exhale, slowly twist the rib cage. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist the rib cage. Back to center. So now take your hips, push forward a little bit. Stay there, twist the rib cage. Back to center. So give me a little imprint. Back to center. More of a challenge. Hand comes to salute. Back to center. Tops of the feet, press down. We got two more. Last one. And release. Shake it out. Do a little cat stretch, shell stretch if you need. And then we're going to the other side. So right elbow goes on the ground or on George. And again, set yourself up. Hips under the knees, elbows under that shoulder, core engages. Pick that left hand up. And again, oops, I just shifted backwards. Hold on. There we go. So just take a breath or two here. Get used to the stability. Again, you can pull back a little bit with the elbow so you feel it in the lat a little bit more. Make sure that elbow points back. All right, starting with exhale, rotate the rib cage to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate to the left. Center, push forward a little bit with those glutes. Keep rotating. Add that little bit of an imprint now. Think about the lower abs, that triangle, and then you have 4 times with the hand at salute, if you'd like. Keep knees pressing out. One more, I think, and then release, and shell for real this time. All right, check in, see how you feel. And then slowly come around. And it is time for side leg series. George gets to go between your ankles. Again, if you don't have George, you're just gonna keep those legs zipped together. Bottom rib is lifted, top hip reaches away. So you have a little bit of space underneath your waist. Long spine, so think about that head even presses down a little bit. All right, keeping those legs pressed together. Exhale, slowly lift both. Inhale, lower down. Stay zipped and engaged. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Take your time. Again, both legs together if you don't have the ball. 2 more. All right, this time up and hold. All right, so now you're gonna do a little arc. So that top leg is gonna come forward a little bit and then back up, and then it goes behind a little bit. So even without the ball, you're doing the same thing. You're taking the foot forward and down a little bit. You're taking it back and behind. Forward and down. So the challenge on this one is to keep that bottom leg as still as you can and keep your control of the ball. Okay, there, I lost mine. Last one. Whoops. I lost mine again. Stay there. Stay there. Yeah. Okay. So keep lifted. Now I want you to bend your knees so the heels come back behind you, and then slowly point the feet, straighten them back out. Heels flex, press the heels back, and point. So everything bends, knees and ankles, and then they point. So bottom rib stays lifted. More of a challenge, take that top arm toward the ceiling. Again, less of a challenge, you keep it right where it is. One more. And then release. All right, check in. We're not done yet, don't worry. Just give me a little bit of a break. All right, so we're gonna do beats, and again, with the ball or without, your choice. So knees and toes turn out. So this is more about the foot doing the work. So we're gonna do 3 clicks, presses in with the feet flexed, and then 3 with the feet pointed. We're gonna do it from the lifted position. So if you have George, you're just squeezing on George. So go ahead and lift up. So the feet start flexed. You're gonna click in for 3, 2, 1, and then point, 3, 2, 1. Flex, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Flex again, 3, 2, 1. Point, 3, 2, 1. Flex, 3, 2, 1. Press those heels together. One more set. And release. All right, ball can come out. We got our lateral flexion. We'll do something normal. Put George where he's not going to roll too far. Okay. Top arm down the side if you want the challenge. In front if you want the stability. Push with the elbow, the hand, your choice. So as you exhale, slowly lift up. Inhale down. So that same lift we've been doing with the lower body, you just added the upper body. So notice that the upper body moves way more than the lower body. Again, push with the elbow, push with the hand, your choice. It's all about the control on that top side on the release. So up faster, down slower. You're still going up with control, even though it's fast. You got a couple more. Last one. And release. All right, switch sides. All right, here we go. Check in. Get that length, get that bottom rib up, get that core engaged. Again, top hand in front, shoulder stays relaxed. If you don't have George, you're just keeping those legs zipped together. All right, here we go. Exhale, slowly lift both legs up. Pelvis stays still. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. There you go. So again, keep that inner thigh connection regardless of George or no George. Last one here, and then you're going to go up and hold. And now you're doing the arcing. So that top leg comes forward and down a little bit. It traces an arc, and it goes back and behind. Again, the challenge here is that bottom leg stays still. Shoulder blade back and in, and then back. Shoulder blade back and in, rolling forward. I was trying to count with the hand behind my head, and I got stuck on 2. I think we're beyond 2. Let's do 3 more. 3. Oh, I'm doing better on this side as I try to lose the ball. 2. Last one. Uh-oh. I lost it. All right. And then take a break if you need to. Then I'm going to go back up. And now we're going to do those hamstrings. So pull in, press the heels, and then you're going to point the feet as you straighten. So again, more of a challenge. Woo, that top arm goes toward the ceiling. Maybe I should do a few more. Figure out the core first. Take your time. Again, notice how the feet work with those knees. One side's definitely easier than the other. Again, this is more asymmetrical, so that arm going up and not offering that support definitely gives you more of a core challenge. Let's do about 3 more again. 3, 2. Try to keep those knees in line with the rest of the torso. Last one, and release. Check in for a moment. And then I'm going to keep the ball between the heels. And again, if you don't have the ball, you're just going to do the heels together and the knees and toes turn out on both legs. Again, going into the beat. So it's 3 clicks, 3 presses in with the feet flexed, and then 3 with the foot pointed. So starting flex, go ahead and lift up. Squeeze it in for 3, 2, 1. Point, 3, 2, 1. Flex. 3, 2, 1. Bottom rib is still lifted. So really working that inner thigh connection today. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Press, press, press. 2 more sets. Look at that squeeze in on George. See how squishy he is today. Last one. And release. Oh, my knee was feeling that one. It needed it. Okay. Coming into lateral flexion. So that bottom arm's out, spine long, shoulder blade down. When you're ready, exhale. Push with the hand or the elbow. Bring yourself up. And again, slow on the way down. Press up faster. Not necessarily fast, but faster. And then down. It's all relative. So we're working that eccentric. So we have more control because of the way our muscles are built on the way down. So we really got to slow down and use it, and you will get stronger faster. Couple more. Again, with the hand or with the elbow, your choice. The last one here. And release. All right, onto your back. Knees into your chest. If you want a little figure 4 stretch for the hips, you're welcome to. Again, what would feel good for you? I think I just want both knees into the chest. Release the hips, make sure the low back is good. Get that little bit of the counter pose going on. And then where'd George go? Ooh. All right, George goes under the ankles. Well, again, no George, the legs are just gonna go out straight. So I want the knees and toes turned out and a slight point on the feet. Relax the toes, point from the ankle. Angle of the ankle. Point the ankle. All right, so arms toward the ceiling. Glutes are engaged. Feel the lower abdominals. Inhale, head nod, arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, go through ab prep. Give me that imprint. Press the legs down. So it's as far as you go, that's as far as you go. Otherwise, keep pressing down on the ball and slowly bring yourself up. All right, so go ahead and help yourself up if you need to. Everybody starts here. And then from here, roll halfway back. Pressing down on the ball, lift to J curve. Keep your J curve, release yourself down. Arms go overhead. Again, this is about the down part. Inhale, head nod, curl, imprint. Hands can go behind the knees. If you need some help up, you can push with the elbows. Again, this is not the big part. All right, so from here, inhale, begin that roll back part way. Keep the legs pressing down. Inhale, lift to J curve. You got distance between the ribs and the hip. Keep your J curve, release down. Inhale, head nod, arms up. Exhale, ab prep. Exhale, imprint. Press the legs down. Use your hands if you need to. Keep those legs squeezing into the ground, into the George. Forward. Inhale, start to roll open. Exhale, J curve. And on the next exhale, release down. We got one more. That one was getting harder. Inhale up, head nod. Exhale, roll. I popped my abs on that one. Inhale up. Exhale. C or J curve. Keep your J curve. Focus on the lower abs, lower abs, lower abs. And then knees into chest. Good job. All right, checking in, see how you feel. Hopefully you had as much fun as I did on the way down. All right, so the George goes under your right foot. Left foot's gonna be flat on the ground. Check in for a breath. Fingertips to forehead. Inhale. As you exhale, you're slowly gonna curl up, ab prep, and then the left shoulder goes a little bit higher than the right. So you're gonna starting to feel that diagonal shoulder to hip. Inhale back down a little bit. Exhale, go a little higher. Inhale back down. Feel this diagonal line. Exhale higher. We got 4 more like this. So just working that diagonal. You can have both hands back. But really trying to feel what's happening. So again, lower abs are drawn in. Feel that connection across. Feel that connection across. Feel the diagonal angle of those muscles and then all the way down. So having that foot up just gave you a little focus. I know you thought I was going to do something sadistic. All right, left foot goes on the ball. Fingertips behind the forehead. Behind the head? I don't know why I say behind the forehead. Inhale, head nod. Exhale, curl up. And then on exhale, right rib to left hip just a little bit. Pelvis stays still. Make sure both knees are going up. Again, just starting to feel how small can you make this movement and feel that diagonal kicking in. So again, lower abs really have to draw up and in. That helps control what's happening at the ribs. It's keeping you lifted so you can get that diagonal. Let's do 4 more. No, I have no idea how many we've done. 3, 2, taking your time here. What's the smallest movement? Last one, and then release down, release down. All right, check in, see how everything feels. And then a little twisting from the lower body. So if you'd like George between the knees, you're welcome to. Arms up toward the ceiling. All right, so head's gonna stay down, zip and engage, and I want you to lift to neutral. I don't normally lift with both legs, so I want you to challenge yourself to stay in neutral. So you have that little bit of space beneath the low back. So now you should also really feel you're on your sacrum here. So push those knees out just a little bit more, challenge that as well. Again, getting that more tabletop, true tabletop position. From here, as you exhale, the legs go just a little bit to the right. Stay for inhale, exhale. Can you keep the ribs down and go a little bit farther? One more time. Inhale, exhale. Can you go a little bit farther? Inhale, slowly float back to center. Exhale, ribs down, feel that triangle, the legs go to the left. Exhale, they go a little bit farther. Exhale, they go a little bit farther. Inhale, back to center. So you're really taking your time to feel the neutral, to feel the arms are continuing to reach up, and to feel the control. Again, that diagonal line of those obliques, they're twisting now as opposed to rotation and reflection, twisting reflection. Other side. Again, take your time. There's nothing rushing here. Feel the opposite side, rib cage, really expanding and contracting. All right, back to the first side. Exhale, twist a little bit. Twist a little bit. Stay in neutral. Back to center. One more time. Again, feel the work there and then slowly in. Woo. And then go ahead and bring those knees into the chest. All right, flipping around, please, onto your abs. My George has rolled away, so evidently we're done with George. I'm going to put my hair up this time. I'm going to get right once today. Okay. Ooh. So hands are going to go in the small of your back. Legs are going to be mat or hip width apart. So knees and toes are pointing down. Head is rotated to the side. I'm going to go ahead and take my glasses off for this one. All right, so shoulder blades are also down. So feel like everything's kind of just relaxed forward. So as you inhale, shoulder blades start to pull back. Open up, reach the arms toward the hips, and then slowly lift up past hover. Long through the low back, bobble head. Stay here for inhale. Feel the expansion. Exhale, slowly release down. Hands come back to your low back. Elbows drop, shoulders drop. Inhale, start that open up, expand, lift. Long through the low back, long through the neck. Stay here for exhale and inhale. And then slowly release yourself back down, starting from side one. So I'm going to open up the abs today. So inhale, open, extend. Stay here for exhale. Inhale, see if you can go a little longer. Exhale, release, back to where you started. Again, inhale, open, expand, lift. Stay here for exhale. Stay here for inhale, and then release. Go ahead and sit back in the shell. Actively engaging those abdominals to round your low back. Again, this is just counter posing. So bringing yourself back into neutral. And then go ahead and come around onto your back again. Oh, and then go ahead and stretch out. So arms are each opposite of those feet. You can do a little bit of side to side. That'll get into those obliques a little bit more, a little bit of lateral work. You can add a little twist component. What would feel good for you right now? And then please bring yourself back. Feet on the ground, arms to your sides. And then a few hip rolls to finish. So as you exhale, slowly lengthen the low back, feeling those cores engaged, slowly roll up. Inhale at the top and slowly roll back down. Just notice how the spine is moving. One more time. Feet. And then knees into chest. And you are done for today. Excellent job.